Today we are here with another challenge. This is what we call a relay race. We have two teams of two people, and we had to build two cars with a PI limit of 1,250. We had a lot of leeway. We could build any car we wanted, but the only thing we had to do was make sure we had two cars within the class, within the PI of 1250, and each car had to do 2 laps of this Watkins Glen circuit for the first race. Now, this is me in the Miura. My Miura was a Class B 550. So this was actually my team's slowest cars. The people who are racing this are me, that car guy 458, and there was what's his name, Tigos, and Gaming Doctor. That's it. I just couldn't remember, but yeah, I'm here driving the Miura, which is B550. My teammate, that car guy 458, who'll be linked down in the description down below as well, guys, if you want to go and check him out, is driving an A700 911 GT2, which you saw on the start line. And the other team is the Gaming Doctor, who was taking an S750 MC12, and Tigos, who was taking a C500 Camaro. As you saw, we both sent out our slowest cars first, but because there's such a difference between our slowest cars, one being 500, the other being 550, the Miura can really start to pull away. And the way I built this Miura is, yeah, it looks a little bit slidey, it does have a lot of top speed, it does have good corner grip, so I never really worried about me losing control of it, me losing time through the corners, because I was just pulling and pulling and pulling, and I was, by the end of the first lap, by the time, by here, I was about 300-400 feet away from my teammate, my enemy, which is incredible. But obviously, with it being a relay race and being two different classes, there's not much action going on, so just going to cut to the chase here. We're coming up to the end of the second lap. Now, I pulled a massive gap, about 1,500 feet worth of gap, coming onto, obviously, this here transition. And this was going to be needed. Obviously, was transferring over to a slower car versus a higher PI car. Now, the replays do look a little bit glitchy, but that car guy did start from the start line. And you can see there is a little bit of laggy glitchiness going on with the replays. I can't really help that. I have no idea why it's done it, but hey ho, I mean, I also forgot to cut it out, but we're here now. But yeah, he did start from the start line. The game is just really glitchy. So here's the 911 GT2, which is at A700, and that car guy did build this car, and he did say this car suffered from a little bit of wheelie syndrome. It's not the worst thing he's ever driven, but it was very fast. It was pretty good through the corners. But what that car guy had to do was really start to pull and get as much gap as possible while this, because he was starting to be chased down by the Doctor in an S750 MC12. And as for the first lap, we had a big enough gap to just run and just run in clean air, not have to worry about anything, not have to worry about nothing. But we did have a faster car bearing down on our fastest car, but their fastest car was even faster. So we really did have a car bearing down on us. But here we're gonna take a cut because it was just another lap and we're on to our next lap now. As you can hear in the background, that is the sound of a Maserati MC12 coming in, and this was going to start to worry that car guy 458. He was, because there was in separate parties for this, so I was with that car guy 458, and obviously I saw this because I was at the end of the start finish straight, and I saw the MC12 pulling him in fast, and you can probably just see it in the background of some of these shots now, but you can definitely hear it. And when I saw it, I was like, car guy, go, pull and just race, because you really do need to keep this gap. You can see it just in the background, just there, and it's pulling in and it's pulling in. It is a faster car, it handles incredibly, it's very fast. It's an MC12, for God's sake. It's an amazing car already, and with an amazing driver behind it. It doesn't help our cause with a slower car, but we are still ahead. We've only got a couple more corners to go now, actually. Come to the fourth last corner, but as you can see, the MC12 is so close now. It is very comfortably coming, well, look, we're on the third last car now, exactly. The MC12 is very comfortably coming and gets a shot, which is not good. We're to the second last car now, and Car Guy does do very well around here, and the Porsche is very good around here. And you can see the MC12 is bearing down him very, very quickly. Comes to the last car now, and it is just the acceleration zone, but luckily enough, my gap would be enough to keep us in first place. So me and that Car Guy 458 will take victory for the first race. Now, obviously we'd do a second race because why not, and there was a little bit of a crash which sent the Porsche flying, but the next race would take us to Suzuka, where we'd have a 1000 PI limit. And well, we went opposite ways this time. So the white team is my team. I was with that Car Guy 458. I'm driving a white Mercedes 300 SL, which is A700. Now we've gone very, very different this time round, because we've gone for a 700 and 300 car. That Car Guy 458 is driving a car which is E300, so it is much slower. So it was up to me to really pull as big of a gap as I possibly could. And as you can see, the red team behind me in their Renault Sport Clear, which is B552, the other car they had was a Honda Civic C448. That Renault is keeping up with me very, very convincingly, and that is a worry, because I'm in a rear-wheel drive car. He's also in a rear-wheel drive car, but his car is very good through the corners. My car wasn't as good as through the corners as I was expecting it to be. It was very fast in a straight line, which was good because the Suzuka has the back straight, it has the start-finish straight, which the straight line speed will really help us out. But it wasn't good. It wasn't the worst through the corners. It was very easily controllable, but definitely not the best. And as you can see, the Clio is just starting to come out of shot now, which is not worry. It is, look, it's still in shot, which is very worrying, because we're halfway around this lap now, and that Clio is still right behind me. I'm just not pulling the gap, and coming up the uphill hairpin, the Mercedes burst into massive amount of wheel spin. But now we're coming onto a pretty much straight line speed sort of an area, and my Mercedes would just start to fly away. It did have a lot of power, this Mercedes. It was on sport tyres as well, so it did have enough traction. Wasn't the worst thing, like I said, to drive, but you do see me now going very, very wrong at Spoon, and that did lose me a lot of time. So I had a massive lock-up, and I just could not get Spoon right after that. Once you mess up one bit of Spoon, the rest of it's messed up, and I'm on the dirt, I'm drifting, losing time, losing gap, which all in all is terrible. But I get this massive straight line speed boost acceleration here on that Renault, and I'm now pulling away. We do have 2 laps around here again each, just because it'd be a bit more interesting. And my other lap was just me pulling away from the Renault. The Renault wasn't getting anywhere close. But here we're coming up to the final corners now, and the Clio is miles gone. I've pulled like 1500 foot gap again, but we are handing on over to a Alfa Milano, which is only E300, and as you can see, this thing doesn't go at all. So I was there, like, once I saw it going, I was like, no, we're in dire trouble right now. This car was being pulled on definitely by a Honda Civic C448. It has 150 basically PI more on the Alpha, which isn't good when this car is basically stock. Also, Doctor has been replaced by Dolfinino, just because we couldn't get Doctor when we want to record this second bit. We could get Dolfinino though, so we thought may as well do it. Doctor wasn't around, so yeah. Dolfinino was driving the Civic, and the Sport Clio was being run by that by Tiger. So yeah, I was again versing off against Tiger. That Cargo was facing off against the other teammate. And we did go around in the same order, but we went for drastically different cars. We thought we should go for more straight line speed, more power, and have a wider kind of variety of car, just because I was confident, because we all know this is my test track. This is what I race for. I've done thousands of laps by now on this track, and I know this track so well that car guy even said we should go for something higher. We should give you the faster car because you're going to be able to pull a massive gap. But I just didn't build the car well enough. The car just wasn't really suited to this. Well, it was very, very good. I couldn't pull a gap because of how fast their car was as well, and because of how in the middle of the grounds they are. You know, I couldn't pull that much of a gap. And as you can see, the Alpha is still currently flying. It's not even worried about this Civic yet. It's just toddling along, coming around Spoon pretty slowly, still going around Spoon, still going around the spoon. But yeah, and the thing is, that Honda was pulling in fast, and fast it was. We're coming around this back straight now, and the big thing was that Honda could just pull in much faster straight line speed than this Alpha could, and was it about 100? They're doing about 130. It's not good for us. It's not good at all, because 30 miles an hour is a lot, especially when you're doing only 100. This Alpha was so slow. We're coming up to the end of the first lap now, and you can just start to see there is that Honda in the background. And when we saw this, I was like, there's going to be some massive defending here, and you've got to do something very big. And we're on the back straight now. We've just coming up to the end of lap 1, and we have another lap to go with this Alpha. And the Civic is just so close. As you can see, there's me and the Renault Clio in the background. But I said to that car guy, you need to push that car. There's no way you're honestly going to be able to keep that car in front. And he goes wide. The Civic takes advantage of that, and the Civic is still on the outside at this moment in time, but the Alpha does get very sideways and loses the position to the Civic. Now the Alpha does go on to chase down the Civic still, but obviously that's a faster car that's now in front of a much slower car. So in reality, the Honda is just going to run away with it. As you can see through these S-bends, it's just so much better. It's just so much more controlled, so much faster, and well, that would shape it for the final lap in the S curves coming on to Dunlop now. The Honda would just pull it, and you know, we couldn't do anything about it. We took too much of a larger gap between our cars, and the Mercedes could not pull a large enough gap for me. Well, I couldn't pull a large enough gap for that Alpha to be comfortable. And yeah, there could have been a bit better racing from the Alpha, could have kept it on the race lines more, could have not gone wide, could have probably defended it up until about this point, but I don't think no matter what he did, he would have been able to keep the Honda behind him. I think it was inevitable when I didn't pull a big enough gap that the Honda was going to overtake the Alpha. 2 laps around Suzuka is a long time, especially in a slow car, and this Honda's pretty good and it's driven by an incredible driver. We just didn't have that, and I know it's a little bit angry for me because we didn't win this one. As you can tell, the Alpha's not going to be able to pull this in, but it's not like, you know, I can't change it. It happened. We knew what our risks were. We knew what we were really putting on the line for taking a faster car and a slower car, and our tactics just didn't turn out. And when it doesn't turn out, then we can't really do anything about that, can we? But yeah, the Honda's coming to the end of the lap now, and as you can see, it's going so much faster. It sounds faster. It looks more racy. It's better in every single way than the Alpha for this kind of a thing. And they just went for the better strategy, and that's what this is all about. It's less about driver skill, where obviously there is a bit of driver skill involved, because if you can get a slower car on the track fast, then that's even better. But it's a lot to do about the strategy, and our strategy came out on top in the first round. It came out incredibly, but it didn't come out in the second round, and that really sucks. So it's 1-0 to my team, 1-0 to the other team. We don't have another gameplay recorded because we just didn't have enough time to. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. If you guys have enjoyed this, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more relay races like this in the future. We're still waiting for the Alpha to come across the line. But yeah, we will definitely do some more like this. You comment down below what PI limit we should have, what tracks we should go to, and what we should change for next time. We're going to see if we can try and get some more people in, try and get at least like 3 teams, 4 teams maybe, because it might promote a bit better racing. But we do need to find the people to do that, because, you know, we have a small group, which doesn't kind of help for longer, a lot more people heavy challenges. But anyway, we're getting through it. We'll have more challenges like this on the channel very soon, guys. They're doing very well and people seem to enjoy them. So comment down below some challenges, comment down below what you want to see us do next and do better. Anyway, that's it from me. If you want to go and subscribe to the guys in this video, then it'll link down below. But anyway, that's it from me, Tim Hyper, signing out.